One of the
I
things that
think that was
happens here
yesterday.
is time loses meaning in some kind of deep way that it does when you're in a big city in the United States, for example, and there's schedules and meetings and all this kind of stuff.
Mm.
It transforms the meaning, your experience of time, your interaction with time, the role of time, all of this. I've forgotten time and I've forgotten the existence of the outside world.
And how does that feel?
It feels more honest. It also puts in perspective, like all the busyness, all the, uh, it kind of takes the ant out of the ant colony
Hmm.
and says, "Hey, this, you're just an ant, and this is just an ant colony, and there's a big world out there." Yeah, it's a chance to be grateful, to celebrate this earth of ours and the things that make it worth living on, including the simple things that make the individual life worth living, which is water and then food. And the rest is just details. Of course, the friendships and social interaction, that's a really big one actually. That one I'm taking for granted because I didn't get a chance yet to really spend time alone.
Hmm.
And when I came here, I've gotten a chance to hang out with you, and there's a kind of camaraderie, there's a friendship there that if that's broken, that's a tough one too. I mean, you spent quite a lot of time alone in the jungle. You ever get alone out here?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first 15 years we were doing this, there would be times that JJ would be busy in town with his family, and I would, for sheer love of the rainforest, I would have to come alone out here. And we didn't have running water. I didn't have running water. I didn't have lights. All I had was a couple of candles in the darkness and a tent. And I was 20 something years old living in the Amazon by myself. Your boat sunk. And yeah, it's incredibly lonely. I had to learn through experience because I thought there was a period, I think when you're young, as a young man, I had this thing like I wanted to prove that I could be like the explorers. I wanted to prove that I could handle the elements, that I could go out alone, that I could have these deep connective moments with the jungle. And it's like I did that, and that's great.
Mhm.
And you know what the kid from Into the Wild learned right before he died in that bus? That if you don't have somebody to share it with, it doesn't matter.
But some kind of like even just deep human level, like even if you have somebody to share it with, you ever just get alone out here? Just like this sense of like existential dread of like what, the jungle has a way of uh not caring about any individual organism because it
Hmm.
just kind of churns. It's like it makes you realize that life is finite quite intensely.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, it's comforting being out here because I find the rat race, the national narrative, the 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 need to make money, to worry about war, to be outraged about the newest thing that politician said and what that actor did, and it just there's always just this just unending sort of media storm, and everyone's worried and everyone's trying to optimize their sunlight exposure and find the solution and buy the right new thing. And to me, coming out here, first of all, I mean something out here because I can help someone. I can
Yeah.
help people. I can help these animals. And so I find my meaning out here. But also, there's the losing the madness over the mountains. It's nature has always, and for many people, been where things make sense. And to me, I think I'm a simple analog type of person that it makes sense that when it rains, you get in the river to stay warm. And you wait for the dawn and you see a little tree snake, and you say it makes more sense. And I think that the overwhelming teeming complexity that is inside the ant mound of society can be dizzying for some people. And I think that maybe it's the dyslexia, maybe it's just that I love nature, but um Now when I land in JFK, I feel like a frightened animal on like like
Yeah.
it's as if you
Yeah.
release like a some animal that had never seen it onto into Times Square, and you could just imagine this dog with its ears back running away from taxis and
Mhm.
just cowering from the noise, and it's just hustle and bustle, and people are brutal, and how much you want it for? Get in the car, screaming over the intercom, and just everything sensory changes, and let's get home. Okay, let's go. You got a meeting. You got to get to the next place. You got to give a talk. You got to sign. Out here. When we finish up here, what are we gonna do? We're gonna eat some food, maybe go catch a crocodile, go walk around the jungle at night. Like, it's
Yeah.
slower, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's that deep meaning of that here, where we can be the guardians for good. We can hold that candle up and know for sure that we're protecting the trees from being destroyed. And it's that simple thing of just, this is good. There you go.
It's simple.
In society, I feel like everyone's always losing their minds and forgetting the most basic of fundamental truths. And out here, you can't really argue with them. When we needed water, it was like, shit, if we don't get water, we're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, to me, that's where the camaraderie comes from, because no matter what, we could go to the most fancy ass restaurant through the biggest, most famous people in the world. Doesn't matter. We still remember what it was like standing around in the jungle going, fuck, we're scared. We don't have water.
Mm-hmm.
We got reduced to the simplest form of humans. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something. And we survived. And that's cool.
And you take all those people in their nice dresses in those fancy restaurants, and you put them in those conditions, they're all going to want the same thing, this water, and
Yes.
it's all the same thing.
All the beautiful people.